And good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, depending on where you're from.
Exactly.
Morning here in Las Vegas, but afternoon throughout the rest of the country. Mike Flanagan, Tom Carter here for the 2022 Senior Masters.
This is going to be an exciting tournament. We got Hall of Famers, as usual, in the finals. I'm excited to see what's going to happen because we got some new talent, let's say.
Yeah, we do. In the first match, we have Dino Castillo taking on Chris Barnes. The winner of that match gets Jerick. The winner of that match gets Parker Bone III, and the winner of that match takes on our tournament leader, Chris Warren, who has to be defeated twice today.
Yeah, and that's going to be a tough. Chris had an unbelievable look, and actually had a great look on this pair. So it's going to be tough. Jerick had a look that nobody's got. And we got the lone lefty on the show, Parker Bone.
Yeah, he was my pick to win this week, as a matter of fact, before the tournament even started, the way this pattern plays out. Let's go ahead and take it out to the lanes, practice, a little bit of practice here remaining. And we also have standing by last year's champion, who's helping us out with the broadcast, helped us out last year, last week at the Super Senior Classic, Tom Hess. Tom, you got a copy down there?
I sure do, Mike.
Tom, what are your thoughts here as you competed here this week, got eliminated by Chris Barnes yesterday? Not going to repeat, but what's going through these players' minds right now as they get ready for this show?
Well, Chris Warren's got to be feeling pretty confident, being the number one seed. He's got to be beat twice, which is a pretty good position to be in. I actually started in this match as the number 4 seed last year, so I proved that it can be done. Depends on what Parker's looks got, with 4 righties, 1 lefty. If those guys mess up the lanes, not mess up the lanes, but if they transition a little bit more for those guys, I like Parker's chances.
Well, depending on how they're breaking them down right now in practice, you got everybody practicing, and you got all kinds of surface going down the lane. So the right side could be a little bit of a trick.
I got Tom and Tom here, so I will refer to Tom Hess as Hess, and Tom Carter is just Tom, okay? So we can keep it straight here today. And Tom Hess will be checking in with us throughout the show here with any insights that he gets as he is roaming around. He has the wireless mic here today. We really appreciate you being here, Mr. Hess.
You're welcome, guys. Thanks for asking.
All right, so Tom Carter, here we go. Lanes 19 and 20. We saw it yesterday in the match where 4 players took to the lanes, and we saw Tony Manna just miss the show. The top 3 made it in for seeding here.
Right. Dino came out of nowhere that last game in that match round. He switched balls the 3rd game to what you called his favorite ball, that white, the Ghost, the Hammer Ghost. He moved left and just started wheeling on it and shoots 258 to make it in.
Yeah, and that's what he's using here. I did see him dump one in the gutter, and folks, we could see a gutter ball here today. This 33 milliliters of oil, 40 feet in length. Brian, can we pop up the oil pattern real quick up on the screen for everybody? This is the pattern that the players played on all week, and this is the pattern that we have out there today as well.
Hey, get a chance, put this at in your home house and see how it plays.
Yeah, it played really slick. It played more like 45 feet, some of the players said. And if you look at the middle, 1-to-1 the ratio in the middle of the lane. It's very flat. Remember the old U.S. Open pattern, 40 feet flat, 1-to-1 through the middle. So the middle's really tough, which means players have to be perfect with their speed, their axis rotation, and their accuracy.
And the guys, as you look at the pattern, people started to the right. You can see that, but then they at the right side, they built that up a little bit, and they migrated in. And you ended up having to play around 4th arrow, but you had to go around the pattern after in games, 13, 14, and 15.
Chris Barnes on the fresh when he took to the lanes on the fresh, because the players bowled on a fresh, a burn, and a double burn this week. 15 games of qualifying, and then, of course, all the bracket play. A lot of games bowled. We had over 260 entries here at the Senior Masters, and it's been a wild week. It's been a long week. We've had a little bit of drama as well in this tournament, but here we are. We're down to the finals.
Yeah.
Our number 4 seed, Chris Barnes, has elected to have Dino Castillo start the match on the left leg. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause as we begin the Stepladder Finals here at the 2022 USBC Senior Masters.
A couple of Texas boys to get us started here. Chris Barnes through qualified 2nd at plus 491. He averaged 232.73. Dino Castillo through the qualifying averaged 225.40. Qualified 10th for the 64-man double elimination bracket.
I got a feeling we're going to see two different types of attack on this pair. Chris probably playing a little more down the outside. Dino a little more inside. He's got so much hand that he's going to be standing a little left, kind of bouncing it off of that. I think I seen surface going down there, so they try to kind of bust open that spot down the lane, so I think he's going to try to bounce it.
Yeah, Dino's going to throw it to a spot from the left. Barnes way more up the lane we should see here. Get started, opening match, 5 versus the 4 seed.
And exactly what Dino's going to do.
Let's take a look at this shot again. A great opening shot from Castillo. Crossing about 12.
Yeah, it looked like 12-13 right there. Clear out to 3-4 down lane. It'll be interesting to see if any of the guys are going to be throwing a urethane just up the outside.
Yeah, no urethane in Barnes' hands here.
In the 3-4 match last night, he switched to that, was it pitch black?
Yeah, he went to the pitch black.
In game 2 and just squared everything up, and it was a way much better look.
Yeah, I believe that's a reality that he was using on the first ball, I believe.
From this angle, that's what it looked like.
I can confirm, guys, yes, that was a reality.
Thank you, Tom. Hess?
Simple spare for Chris Barnes.
Yeah, not the shot he was looking for there. I've seen him with a little more speed outside and a little more projection. That one there just kind of looked thrown into the lane.
Well, last night, Chris was firing the ball down the outside.
He really was, especially in his match. The match before the match that went into 3. He was throwing 100 miles an hour, but he left a couple of 8 pins, had some real carry issues, only won by 1 pin.
Chris really taking his time, and a little bit farther outside, kind of where Dino was playing. I think he was outside of Dino down lane.
Yeah, I got that one further right. That match I was talking about was actually against Victor Flory, 6-17 to 6-16. Barnes winning by 1, had to strike on the last shot.
Right, and if Victor would have struck on his last shot, we would have had a tie.
Yeah, we sure would have.
And to Victor's credit, he had to strike on that left lane, and we were going to go up to the sports book because we didn't think that he could put 3 together in the 10th to force Barnes, but he put 2 in a solid shot.
We've got a side angle for you here. We'll go to it once in a while. Take a look at Dino's style here.
A little bit of rhythm right there, the feet shuffling, ball into the swing quick, good knee bend, leverage, and that's why he hooks the ball so much. I mean, his approach to the lane, very solid, shoulders right over the knee, rock solid at the lane. When you can get that kind of leverage, you can make a ball do tricks.
There is something magical about this bowling ball for Castillo and his friends. So we've seen Sean Maldonado use it a lot and go to this Black Widow Ghost, and we've seen Tommy Jones use it a lot, especially on television.
But his is blue.
That's true, with the blue oil.
I had a guy come in the pro shop, Ken. You buy that blue Ghost that Tommy was throwing? I go, no.
That one's got a hook. Oh my goodness. God. I thought that might have been 0 for a minute. Take a look at how far this bowling ball goes to the outside part of the lane.
That was 1.5 down lane. Yeah, but the rotation, the axis rotation that Dino can create. I mean, that ball's just, as far as the layout on a ball, it's basically is your typical house layout. It's a pin up, mass to the right just a little bit. It's strong on the back end. Chris, look at that cupped up wrist starting out. The hesitation. Oh, a little break on the 047 there.
So 2 shots by the guys. The last 2 shots, I don't think they would say that they executed 100%. Dino a little right of target. Barnes maybe a little left of target. but both guys get strikes nonetheless.
Well, this house, if you haven't been watching all week, has the characteristics of the left lane being a little tighter, the right lane hooking a little bit more. So, and it was pretty obvious on that shot. Maybe it wasn't Chris's best shot, but that lane could possibly be hooking more. And it'll get you all tricked up.
Barnes has balked a couple times. We saw him balk twice in one match earlier in the bracket. Now he's got to reset. And remember, folks, Barnes puts those fingers and that thumb in. He is in so tight, probably the tightest of any player I've ever seen in PBA history.
If you watch him try to get his thumb out of the ball when he balks, he almost has to pull his fingers out first to get his thumb out. It is ungodly tight. And people, a lot of people say, I can't throw a ball with thumbs that tight, but that's what you call a relaxed grip. Chris wheeling it out to 2 down lane.
Yeah, one thing I'm seeing on our championship pair here, Tom, is that out 2-3, about 40 feet down the lane where the oil pattern ends, it looks like the ball is recovering at least on lane 19 for both players and should throughout the entire telecast.
And that's, well, as we just said earlier, that lane is a little tighter, and so they're allowing that ball to push down to that break point. And if the right lane hooks like it has all week, that mid lane hooks a little bit quicker, and it's a little tougher to get it to that spot down lane. And this is where you got to be careful, because if you overthrow it trying to force it there, that's when we see those gutter balls.
Yeah, guys, I can confirm that. Last year on this pair in the title, the last 3 matches, I actually threw 2 different balls, one on each lane, because the lanes were that different.
Oh, Dino did not like that. He never got it to the spot, thought it was going through the face, and he ends up carrying it. I don't even know if you call that high flush. That was just high.
Yeah. Dino feeling it, though. And, one thing about Dino as well, and then we've seen this, and we've talked about it all this season on the PBA50. Dino, when he's out there bowling, he looks like he's popping out of shots, running around, smiling, hands are flinging everywhere. There is a certain sort of seriousness to Dino today that I've already seen through 4 frames. We're seeing him at least try to stay down through the shots a little bit. He's not quite hooping and hollering as much, not running around, talking to his buddies. He seems very focused here today. I know how much he wants this title.
Well, yeah, if you watch Dino all week, he's bouncing around like a jackrabbit most of the time as soon as he throws the ball. He's fun to watch. Dino has got some area down there at the break point, and if you got area, that never got out to 2-3.
Watch Dino's form, down and through the shot, almost until the ball gets through the end of the pattern.
We haven't seen that out of Dino all week. And he is normally back by the set tee before the ball hits the pins.
I used to watch some TNN. I used to watch American Sports Cavalcade, and they used to have these big tractors that would race and go on the mud. And they had a guy named Rambunctious, and then they had a new and improved Rambunctious. I think this is the new and improved Dino Castillo today.
Boy, he's throwing it incredible today.
Barnes is going to need to keep striking.
Oh, Chris got it out to that spot this time.
The way this ball goes through the pins is ridiculous. Look at this. 10 back.
His rev rate, both of them have great rev rates. It's just the axis rotation between the 2 players is different. One's got a higher axis rotation than the other. Chris is more up the back of the ball. The ball is traveling down the lane end over end, so it really pushes the pins to the pit, where Dino's ball's got a little more axis rotation, and you see the pins tend to go a little bit more sideways.
You got your notepad up here, Tom. We've got 1 re-rack for Barnes so far, 1 re-rack. Little tally mark next to Barnes. A second balk from Barnes. Mark that down too.
I don't know if he's got a hand issue, if his hand hurts, or if it's cramping up. And if it's cramping up, that could be.
Joe, can you hand me a blank sheet of paper? You still got one over there? Thank you.
You got to make sure that he's hydrated. If his hand's cramping up, that's not a good sign. And clear out to 3, down lane. But those balks have turned out absolutely incredible for him, because he's reset himself, delivered the shot, And we have a slugfest going on, folks, right now. Chris Barnes, spare 5-bagger. Dino starting out with all strikes, a 5-bagger. It'd be nice. That well, normally on this pattern, we said it last night, the first game is normally the highest. And we've seen 260-57 last night, the first game. We got 290 to 300 going on right now. He is dead rock solid to line. That is impressive to watch.
It really is.
I mean, this is a Dino that we haven't seen. I agree with what you said earlier, the new and improved. If he could do that all the time, I think this kid would be unstoppable.
Yeah, Dino, rookie this year out here on tour. He is eligible for the Rookie of the Year. He actually, didn't he bowl this event last year when he just turned 50, but this is his first full season out here?
You got me on that one.
I think so. It was either this one or the U.S. Open. I remember talking to Dino about it.
Yeah, Dino did bowl the Masters last year.
That's why it's great having Tom Hess on this broadcast today.
He remembers all that stuff. Oh, that's way out. That's got a wheel. Oh,
And it
Lord.
does.
Holy cow. And it did. It came from La La Land. And that was farther down the lane. Granted, it was down to the break point, but it was farther down the lane on that break point. Dino with the front 7, folks.
Barnes can max at 290. Dino, of course, dare I say it, 300.
Oh, Chris. Oh, he got away with it. That's 2 on the right lane that has gotten high, and he tripped the 4-7. That one, you would have thought the 4 would have stood on that, but not so much.
The axis rotation helping him out there a little bit. Going forward through the pins, able to carry him, so 2 shots on the right lane. The thing that I'm seeing here, Tom, though, the big observation for me is both players have a little bit of miss room, and where they're playing the lanes is catering to their strengths. Dino able to miss a little bit right, still peel it off the gutter, and Barnes can go up a little bit more up the lane occasionally, but because of his forward roll, is still able to strike.
Yeah, because if he had that extreme axis rotation, once it hit the spot, it'd be through the face.
Check mark, yeah.
Big 4. Oh, that did check up a little bit. That almost turned into, well, it did turn into ugly.
There for a minute, it was the 4, 7, 9, 10.
Right. No, this is makeable. I mean, it's basically like picking up the 4-9. Not that the percentages of picking up a 4-9 are great. And it's kind of hard on this pattern because once the ball comes out of the pattern at the end of 40 feet, it is so dry back there, even throwing a plastic ball, it might check a little bit. Oh.
Barnes almost converts. But an open frame for Barnes. He's taking a walk. Now Dino on the front 7. Best Barnes can do now. Still a great score, 253, but he's going to need some help from Dino now.
Well, if Dino stays as cool, calm, and collected as he is right now, he's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, guys, going back, I did look last year. Dino finished in the 17 through 24 bracket here at the USBC Senior Masters.
Thank you, Tom.
Uh-oh. That's the Dino we normally see jumping out all over the place.
At this point, you know, Barnes and Dino are both rooting for the 300 here.
Yeah.
That's what you do when your opponent's got big string against you like that. Dino needs this one here in the 9th first, and Barnes will become a cheerleader.
So if you're Dino right now, you know his heart rate's going 100 miles a minute. Do you use a re-rack? It doesn't look like it. He's going to, but just to slow everything down. What would you do, Tommy?
Last year I had a very set routine. I tried to do everything exactly the same, and looks like Dino's doing the same.
Great shot there, out to the dot, and that locks that up. Dino's Castillo with the front 9 absolutely label in the pocket. Chris Barnes that strikes out with 253. Bold Fantastic just got a crappy break there in the 8th. Wheeled that one to La La Land. He might have got it out a little bit early, and with that end over end roll, the ball can lose a little bit of energy, not go through the pins quite the right way. Chris knows that it's over for him. He's just trying to get out of the way.
This is a sportsmanlike move right here. You just get out of the way.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he's doing. Let him, the other guy, finish. Score doesn't, at this point, doesn't really make any difference for Chris or anybody else. He could shoot 232 if he strikes out, but he's just going through the motions right now to get out of the way. So in the USBCs, on the show, is there a payout for a 300?
Tom, that's why I left the booth and been running around and texting folks. I'm trying to get an answer to that. I do not have an answer to that right now.
Oh.
Well, let's give it up for Chris Barnes for finishing 5th. 222, but the score really irrelevant. He just got out of the way there at the end. Barnes has had a great event.
Be interesting to see what Chris thought the lanes were doing far as transition-wise after this match, if he thought that the right lane was giving him a little more friction. Well, there's something that I didn't expect.
This might be his best shot that he's made. He did not flirt with the gutter.
Well, he was up there on the approach, and somebody had to cough, and it was a pretty loud cough, and I was expecting Dino to back off on that and reset, but he didn't. Now, that's some serious focus.
Tom, I do have an answer. There is no bonus here for any sort of 300 game during this championship finals from one source. Nonetheless, still a cool opportunity here for Dino. Might scare his next opponent, Jack Jerick, a little bit. But we'll talk more about what happens when that game is bowled afterwards. We got a real issue in here right now. We got a real coughing issue.
Yeah, somebody's really.
Okay. Kind of a bizarre situation here, but Dino's going to get reset.
Come on, Dino. Oh.
There's number 11.
He came over that, and that guy was just about ready to cough again.
Take a look at this one right here. He doesn't post it as good, but it's pretty close to the last one.
So if we get lucky, maybe somebody will pony up some money for the 300. Wow, I mean, Dino backed off. I mean, give that guy a glass of water.
Ironically, he's holding a water in his lap.
Okay.
Then he needs to be drinking it.
All right, here we go. Dino Castillo on the front 11, looking to open up with a 300 game.
What an incredible start, Dino, with that little. He just uses that as rhythm, not to tighten himself up. Can it possibly? Yeah, 300.
Let's take a look at the shot one more time.
That
Down and through it.
Incredible.
3 bills.
Unbelievable.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a fantastic game by Dino Castillo. Perfect game, 300. And how about a round of applause for our fifth place finisher this week?
Wow.
Chris Barnes.
What a great shot. He posts that, walks it out.
All right, we're going to give a few warm-up shots here to Parker and Jerick,
Wow.
and then we'll be underway in just a few moments.
Well, Tom, I think I'm just gonna leave, and I can't get any better than that. So
Is
you
the show
enjoy the
over?
rest of the telecast. We'll get Hess back up here because I don't know if I can give you more entertained than that. That one there.
Was absolutely incredible.
Hey guys, I was just down here talking to Parker, and he wanted to let everybody know that during his 2 matches today, he will be donating $10 per strike to the BVL because there is an event going on at his home center in Howell Lanes in New Jersey today, raising money for the BVL. So if you guys could tally those strikes, we can let everybody know out in New Jersey how much money Parker's going to add to the BVL.
That is awesome. Yeah, I know Parker wanted to be there today but couldn't be there. I think they're watching on the big screen. So that's a really cool gesture by Parker Bone III. I wouldn't expect anything less from Parker.
Yeah, if Parker hadn't made the show, he was flying out last night to be there because Johnny Petraglia is there. They got a bunch of pros there raising money for BPL at his training center, the Bone Training Center, Elite Training Center. They've got Specto. They've got everything there.
Tom Hess, if you wanted to grab Chris Barnes or talk to any players down there, feel free to just, take it away, and don't mind us up here in the booth if you see anybody running around you want to talk to.
Yeah, Chris is talking to Rob right now. I don't know if he's going to want to talk. I'll ask him if there's anything he wants to say.
So the players get to come over and take on practice balls, all the finalists that are left here. Again, our top seed today is Chris Warren. He will need to be defeated twice. Parker Bone, our number 2 seed. Jack Jerick, our number 3 seed. And, of course, Dino Castillo, who was the number 5 seed, defeating Chris Barnes. So we have left here, and we talked about it a lot yesterday, but, man, it's Hall of Famers. It's high-caliber bowlers every single week out here on the PBA 50.
All right, guys, I got Chris Barnes here. Chris, you just got eliminated. Another solid run, high qualifier last year. Unfortunately, that's a pretty good score to beat. What do you think about Dino there?
Well, that's the second time I've had 300 shot made at me in a stepladder, and I don't know. It seems like they're averaging about 270 against me, but I faked my way into keeping that a game for as long as I could. I didn't like the right lane a lot. It hooked early, and then but overall it was still tighter, and so I needed to get through a game or two for it to get probably better for me. He just bowled a great game, and second time this year he's put 260. I think he shot 567 or something like that for the 2 games I bowled him in the stepladders this year. If he keeps doing that, I probably won't win very many of them. So he bowled a fantastic game. It's certainly there's no luck there. That was 12 shots that were about as good as you can throw them, and that holds up. He's going to be a handful for somebody. Remind me of somebody last year.
Well, I didn't get to bowl you this year, Chris, but another great week.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations, bud, and I'll see you in Lubbock.
Thanks, sir.
Well, that's what we suspected on the right lane, that it was hooking a little bit more. So the characteristics that mid lane hooks a little quicker, wants to force you a little left, but then the ball doesn't really want to recover that well on the back end. Well, the only one that's going to mess up Parker's shot is Parker, depending on what he throws going down the lane. And he's been here long enough and done it enough that I'm sure on his practice shots he's trying to build up a wall, and Jack Jerick playing the lane a little bit different than everybody else. So this is going to be an interesting match. And if Dino can come down a little bit off of that, having all the excitement to recoup and do it again.
Yeah, a lot of times there's big letdowns after a 300 game. Hey, here on Bowl TV, we do giveaways during our broadcast from time to time. I've just started one. We're giving away a Bowl TV t-shirt here. So you have an opportunity to sign up and win that. It's a little pop-up on your screen. If you're in full screen, make sure you minimize. And the giveaway will begin here in just a moment as we get started here with our second match here at the 2022 Senior Masters. So Jerick versus Castillo, and as we were just alluding to, sometimes when you bowl a 300 game, you got all that emotion. You come in, and in the past, history, a trend is your friend. A lot of letdowns in the past after a 300 game on television. This is being live streamed, so a little bit different story. In my opinion, I don't think Dino Castillo is going to have any issue here in this game.
I don't think that kind of thing bothers Dino at all. He's just got that kind of personality. Jack Jerick elects to start. That's a little unusual sometimes.
Yeah, he wants that ball in hand, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that. I'm a guy that likes to put the pressure on my opponent. Normally the higher seed elects to finish first.
Yeah, and just I think from the booth perspective up here, the right lane looks a little tougher than the left lane to begin with, so that's kind of a odd situation, at least from looking at it up here.
The other thing with Jerick that surprised me is he bowled so stellar with that UC3, that Rubicon UC3 with rotogrip. It's called Tourthane.
Right.
And today he's electing to use reactive. Tom Hess, if you can figure out what ball he's using, his selection, that would be great.
From the side here, that looked like a Zen Master. I know during a lot of his matches he was throwing the Reality. Yeah, guys, that is a Zen Master. I can also see that he does have the UC3 on the rack as well.
Okay.
Uh-oh. That was more like what we've seen Dino
This
before.
is typical Dino right here. Watch the footwork.
Yeah, hop, yep. A little quick. Never even got it to the spot. Got a break. That's what we've seen Dino, even though that he's here on the show, that's what we've seen him do most of the week. Not really post the shots, but, with his rev rate and his speed, and he actually creates a lot of miss room and area for himself.
Take a look at the beautiful Samstown Bowling Center.
Much better shot on the second one. He posted that one. You've seen him, pump his hands like slow down.
Yep, front 14.
Yesterday I asked him when he got ready to bowl that 3 out of 4 if he had any 5-pound ankle weights to keep his legs slower from running to the line so fast. Kind of interesting that Jack Jerick has chosen to use a much stronger ball. And he did so well with that UC3 playing out. But these guys, they're in the moment, and they see something different than what we see up here, so the lane's telling them what they need to do.
Yeah, guys, they took a lot of time in practice opening up the right-hand side of the lane, so maybe he's trying to be a little bit left and create some shape with this ball.
Second shot in a row, he's come in high on the left lane, that one much higher. Guess we should give a shout out to Daryl Traber here in the chat that says he and his wife Joanne are going to match Parker's gesture of a $10 to BVL for every strike he makes. We will also add $100 if Parker makes the finals and throws a 300 game. Thank you, Daryl Traber.
That is pretty incredible.
I know, Daryl. I just want to say thank you as well, Daryl. That is an awesome gesture.
Three frames in for Jack Jerick, 9 spare strikes, 6 spare. And he chose to start on the left lane, and obviously there was a reason. He doesn't like that, and he's 9 spare, 6 spare on that left lane so far.
Front 15.
Yeah, he's getting a little quick on that right lane. He just
what a performance for a guy who doesn't have any national wins. I'm sure Dino's got several regional wins, but man, what a performance to start this title match.
Yeah, has never won on the national tour nor this tour. Obviously, as a rookie here, he's been out here a little bit less than a year. 6 or 7 tournaments under his belt.
Well, that Team USA experience has got to give him, you know, a little bit of background help there. Oh, no. How about that messenger? How about that messenger? That was awesome. That's what we said earlier. With his axis rotation, you'll see Dino throw more pins around than probably a lot of the other players. His ball goes through the pins just sideways.
Forrest Gump said he had magic shoes, and Dino Castillo has a magic ball.
Jack Jerick with the old pop in the I wonder if that's a pop in his thumb hole or his finger holes.
Yeah, I would say probably the fingers, but I will say this, Jack wanted to finish on the right lane, and so far he's perfect on the right lane, so that was a smart choice.
And we have a ball change. He is going to the UC3 here on the left lane.
On the left lane. Okay, Tom. Good catch. Looks like he made a zone change to the right, moved to the extreme outside part of the lane, which we saw him do and have a lot of success with.
Well, that's what he did last night in the round of 3 out of 4. He played that same line way to the right with that UC3 and just walked over everybody. Well, it's obvious that Jack has got to figure something out. He's only got half the game left. He's in 5 frames, 80 in the 4th, 9 spare up, and Dino starting out with the front 4. Dino 16 in a row.
Well, Dino's streak comes to an end at 16 strikes.
Yeah, that was a little high. And that right lane for Dino, as Chris said, it just hooks a little more. And it hooks early more. That's the problem. It doesn't really hook more down lane.
Yeah, guys, that could be a good break for Dino. He got 9, didn't 4-9. Going to stay clean, and now he doesn't have the pressure of a 16-bagger anymore.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think he thought he missed that.
Well, he hasn't shot a spare in about an hour.
Yeah, it's been a while, that's for sure. I think that's why you see 10 pins get missed sometimes after you throw 15, 16 in a row. I wouldn't know. I don't think I've ever done that in my career, even in practice.
You see a lot of guys do what Dino does. He's just got that little bit of rhythm with his foot, trying to keep everything loose. You see Norm Duke with the, kind of wiggles his hand.
Yep.
Weber with it's kind of the same footwork. All right, Dino's got to calm back down, get it back together. I don't want him to thinking that, things are changing drastically for him, and he tries to overthink what's the process of what's going on.
Yeah, game and a half in, right? So the lanes are transitioning. Game and a half is about when you start to see it, maybe even a little bit earlier. Hits the pocket the last 2 shots, but both shots were a little bit high. And he leaves a 9-pin and a 4-pin.
Dino excited he picked up a 4-pin.
So subtle adjustments, maybe 2 and 1s left, maybe even a 1 left with his feet.
Yeah.
Keep his eyes the same potentially.
I think it's more of a foot move, a little bit left. I don't think his break point has changed that much. So Jack's using 2 different balls.
Take a look at this one again.
That was a little bit high. You see it right at about 40 feet. It really wanted to start creeping high right there.
Both players are starting to come high on the head pin here. There was a lot of practice that went down the lane, and they were breaking them down to the right, trying to create a hook spot. I think they've done a pretty good job of that. But what kind of happens here, you start to create wet-dry, where the oil line is defined and then the dry is defined. And if you get it to the dry too quick, it goes high. And if you don't get it there soon enough, you go light.
Well, there's a reason there's wet-dry. And we bring that pattern back up, you'll see the amount of oil that is in the middle of this pattern that obviously they're trying to burn the outside up. And you're right. It's going to create a cliff. And you're going to get early hook, but you move into it, you could get unbelievable skid if you don't get around that pattern.
This is really not the time to be bowling a Dutch 200.
No, not when you got your other guy pretty well lined up.
It's good to see Jerick back out here competing. Condolences to the Jerick family on the passing of Jack's mom. He missed some time out here because of that, taking care of his mom.
Well, this is interesting from Mark Waters. Dino has overcome some throat issues a while back and spent several months in doctor's care. So it's nice to see him back out bowling again.
Yeah, Jack was dealing with some injury issues too. He had smashed his thumb. He actually showed up in Mooresville, threw some practice shots, couldn't go, and decided not to bowl.
Oh, a messenger again, but didn't take out the 10, but at least he posted that shot. He's back to doing what he did the first game.
Yeah, I like that shot, but after throwing the front 16, he is now not struck in 3 frames.
Yeah, well, obviously it's the lanes that have changed, not so much that he has changed. So this is the process here, and Tommy can probably allude to this. When the lanes have changed and you feel like you're throwing it good, what moves do you make? I mean, do you try to be a little firmer? You try to get around it a little more? You switch balls? I mean, there's so many things that can go through your head.
Yeah, I was throwing a lot of surface in my matches this week, so my adjustment was to just stay firm with it and try to keep it on line. Dino's playing the lanes a lot different than I played, so he might be moving left, trying to get it. He's creating a lot more shape than everybody else from what I can see from my view down here.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely. He's got a hook spot to throw to. It's just a matter of how he gets it there.
Well, one thing about his game, he can move left, and he's got the hand to get it around the puddle. You know, a lot of guys
now crossing about 14, Tom.
Yeah, and he started out around 11, 12, so he's migrated in 3 or 4 boards.
Yeah, I didn't even really get that deep even on the double burn.
Really, not even on the double burn.
No, my look, I tried to get over there to start, but I had too much of a skid flip reaction, so I went right and went firm on even on the double burn.
Oh, that kind of put the nail in the coffin right there.
Yeah, it's just an unfortunate break.
8-10 and then 8th frame. But there's that hang spot we talk about. If you get it too far right, you can create, there is hang, and that's why we've seen so many gutter balls this week. Guys get it right thinking it's going to peel back, and it just lays there.
So Dino Castillo will move on to take on Parker Bone III in the semifinal match.
And whoever wins that match has to take on Chris Warren and has to beat Chris Warren twice.
Yep.
And
you don't get to see that on regular TV.
Yeah, and on the right side, Chris can definitely get in there and play with Dino. Chris Barnes and Jack Jerick both electing to play the lanes a little straighter. Chris Warren will be hooking it with Dino in there.
Yeah, that's a good point. He definitely will. Looked a little firmer. Let's look at it again. Where's he crossing here? I don't think it's quite 14 here. I think this one's more like 11, 12.
That was pretty firm. He threw that 17-2. So on the lane that's hooking, he amped it up. You know, like Tommy Hess and Dino, these guys, Parker, they have the ability to amp up their speed to keep that ball on line.
It's important to make sure he doesn't amp up the speed on the left lane here now, as he's going a little more left to right on this left lane, throwing to the hook spot.
That was, well, first Brooklyn of the match.
Way inside of target. Let's see where he crosses here on this one.
That was like 16,
yeah,
wasn't it?
That's exactly where I saw it, and never got the ball to the right.
All right, guys, I'm here with Parker Bone. Parker, you've decided to donate $10 per strike to the BVL for the people down at Howell. They're probably watching. Anything you want to say to them?
Well, first of all, thanks to everybody for showing up today. It's really awesome. Great event. Johnny Petraglia, obviously Tony Norsha put this big event together, so they got an awesome Pro-Am. I just feel bad that I can't be there, but know from my heart, everyone, that I'm there. And God bless. I'm glad they all showed up.
All right, Parker. Dino looks pretty lined up. You think you got enough to get around him?
No, he's lined up right now, but he hasn't bowled Parker yet, so we'll see what happens.
I hope the Parker that's been bowling shows up, not the Parker that bowled me yesterday.
All right.
Good luck, my friend.
I appreciate that.
Dino with a sweet 257.
He hasn't bowled Parker yet. I love it. Here's Dino's last ball.
Jack Jerick looks like did he just move left just to see if he should have done this?
Yeah, and throw it to a spot.
And he did.
So here's a learning thing for all the folks at home. Okay, Jack Jerick down lane was throwing it to about a dime.
Right.
Okay, his break point down lane, he had to hit a dime down lane to be able to strike. Right.
Correct.
If he was a little right of it, we saw like a light 8-10. If he was a little bit high or a little bit left of it, left of the dime, so to speak, he's going to go high, 4 pins, things like that, right? Jack has made a ball change here, and he's created about a quarter down lane, and Dino Castillo has a quarter down lane. That one even peeled off.
Yeah, he almost
and
created
that was
a dollar
way
down
right.
lane.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the difference and when you're creating ball motion and you're trying to throw it to a spot down lane. Dino Castillo has created a much larger area down lane with the way he's throwing the ball and attacking him with the bowling ball choice that he has. And we've seen Jack Jerick, Chris Barnes, they have to hit a little bit smaller area down lane.
Hey, guys, I've got Dino here. Dino, congratulations on the 300 game. great start. You kind of lost it there for 3 frames in the middle of the match. Can you tell everybody what adjustment you made at home?
Well, I saw the ball start to pick up a little bit quicker, so I made a move left, and I went like a 1-and-1 left, and I kind of hung out there a little bit, so I just made sure I caught it a little bit, and caught 4-pin high, and then that's when I made the move. So I just had to make a move left and kind of gradual there, and then in the 10th frame, I just was trying to get through it. So I'm probably going to make another move. So.
Okay, do you think the lanes are going to keep transitioning as fast this match as you're bowling Parker, so you're going to be by yourself on the right-hand side of the lane? Do you think that's going to help your transition slow down a little bit?
I still think it's still going to move around a little bit. I just got to keep mindful, even though I've been playing further left than the 2 guys before me. So I'm probably going to still see some movement, so I'm expecting it.
All right, thank you, Dino. Good luck. Good run so far.
Some great insight from Dino Castillo.
Well, you got Chris Warren now taking his practice shots, and he's pretty far left, so that's going to create a little bit of transition for Dino, depending on what surface he's using at this point.
Hey guys, I got Jack Jerick here. Jack, a little bit unfortunate there. Looks like you kind of got lost on the left lane early. Anything you'd do different if you're out there again?
Obviously now in hindsight, I'd probably see if I can move in and try and curve it a little bit more than I did. I mean, my bread and butter on the fresh for the most part was playing pretty firm and straight from out, and that pair, just one lane was a little different than the other. Just, with 6 shots, it was hard just to really kind of dial in on it.
Tommy, ask him about starting on the left lane. I'm just curious.
Tom Carter would like to know your decision for starting the match.
My decision for starting the match was the fact that the left lane was a little wiggly for me, and if I was going to have to throw a shot on the 10th, I didn't feel comfortable I'd be able to do it on that lane.
Yeah, that's kind of what I suspected, because I'm a guy that likes to, most bowlers like to finish the match, make the guy step up and perform. Jack, as your friend, we share a special moment. I'd just like to say it's awesome to see you back out here competing again, and you plan on bowling any more, or you're going to...
Right now, the schedule, I'm going to try and bowl most of the rest of the schedule. So I'll be in Lubbock and Odessa. I'll bowl probably the majority, maybe miss one of the Midwest swing, but barring any stupid injuries on my part again, you guys will see me around a little bit more. It was so awesome to be back with my family out here.
Yeah, we love having you out here, Jack. Congratulations. Great bowling again this week, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Awesome insight from Jack.
Folks, glad you're here with us on Bowl TV. We've got a lot of great action going on. As a matter of fact, right now, PWBA is happening. We've got 5 streams out there for you right now, live here on Bowl TV, while we have our PBA50 main channel going as well. If you're watching a YouTube version of this later, don't forget you can sign up for Bowl TV at bowltv.com. We've got passes for just each one of the events available. We also have monthly passes available, or you can subscribe for an entire year. A lot of bowling action here. PBA50 still in full stride. Also got the PWBA Junior Gold to be coming up this summer, and also collegiate events. A lot of coverage here on Bowl TV, and we'd love to have you come on board and become a subscriber. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for supporting Bowl TV and supporting the players that we show on our streams all the time here on Bowl TV.
Bowl TV. Bowling lives here.
Absolutely. One of the other great things about Bowl TV is we're always bringing in bowlers like yourself, yep. Tom Carter, and Tom Hess helping us out. The bowlers always helping us out here, especially on the PBA50 tour. And
yeah, you get so much talent that gets to sit here and talk about how the lanes and what they did and the stories that they have. Hey, it's a world of information.
A lot of coaching. You sit in on a live broadcast. Next thing you know, earlier this week we talked to Steve Klimkin from Storm about ball layouts. We talked to John Burkett about his entire arsenal. So we've had a lot of cool moments here, just even this week and all the time here on Bowl TV.
All right, guys, I'm down here with Chris Warren. Chris just went out and took his shots he's going to get 8 more, I believe, before his championship match. What do you see out there on the lanes so far, Chris?
Well, they're basically pretty much the same. Dino's got them carved pretty good, about 45 feet. So things are pretty good. Things are going to be good. So right lane hooks a little earlier, not a big deal. Probably going to play around 8, 9, 10, about 40 feet.
All right, Chris, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, there you have it. Chris Warren, he's got to win. He's got to win twice.
Chris Warren only has to win once.
Oh,
Yeah, Chris only has to win
he
once.
has to be beaten twice.
He has
Tom.
to be beaten twice.
Thank you for that.
Well, that was. Well, you know, they lighten the mood a little bit.
Well, is Dino going to strike on this ball? Tom Carter, what do you think?
Yes.
Okay. You win again.
He crossed roughly 14, 15. He wasn't quite as deep as he was because when he went deep the last time, he went Brooklyn.
Yeah, 10 back. So here's our first look at Parker Bone III today. This pattern was asymmetrical. A little less traffic on the left side of the lane. And out of all the lefties, in my opinion, Parker had the most hold because of the way he rolls up the back of the ball, playing the extreme outside part of the lane.
Parker,
opening
if
shot.
he gets to play up the outside with his speed, he's going to be a whole handful.
And there it is. Now I got a question for you, since you are one of the ball reps there for absolutely $10. One of the ball reps for Brunswick. Here's the question for you. This week he used that Evo Pearl, that Quantum Evo Pearl. He asked you guys to drill him another one. Is he using the old one or the new one?
That's a good question. I think he's using the old one. He had a good look with it. We actually drilled him 2 balls for today. Another Evo Pearl, identical to the one he had, and a Stealth to give him a little different shape on the back end if he needed it.
Parker looks really comfortable. We did see where he was not clearing the thumb very well yesterday. It was a little humid in here, a little warm, but today it looks like he's having no problems at all.
Tommy, if you can get to Jeff Johnson, he'll be able to tell you if he's using the new one or the old one.
Okay, guys, Jeff's right here. I'll see what he has to say. Jeff, is Parker using the new Evo or the old one?
No, he's using the new one, the one we drilled last night. Just a little cleaner and a little more at the back. He feels like he's got a pretty good shot with that one.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
Oh, so
6 into the 10 there.
This could be a real slugfest. Nobody's messing up anybody's line except for themselves.
Yeah, you know, I actually talked to Parker in the booth, and I've been asking this question to a lot of the players out here because they have access to the truck, and the bowling balls that are working, do you have a fresh one just in case? You know, 150 to 200 games, depending on how much traffic you have with the bowling balls and the amount of oil we use out here, especially the ice oil this week. You know, what happens if that bowling ball doesn't perform well anymore? Do you have another one to go to? And Parker and I discussed that here on the air, and it looks like you guys got one, and he's using the brand new fresh cover here tonight.
It drilled exactly the way the one he qualified with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny because Parker, along with Walter, neither one of those guys drill a lot of balls, you know, during the week or during the whole swing, really, which is amazing.
Dino's got it going on. What I like about Dino's look is he's now been able to move left, and now he isn't as close to the gutter. And, you know, the gutter's been a little scary for folks. When you can get away from the gutter, not have to throw it out to it quite as far as he was in the first match.
Well, Dino looks like he's in his wheelhouse right now. He's just relaxed and throwing the ball.
Classic style of one of the best left-handers we've ever seen, grace the lanes.
This boy can repeat, and repeat. It's amazing to watch Parker Bone. I mean, you know, some of the trick shots that him and Johnny Petraglia do are incredible. Johnny Petraglia will go down the lane, stand facing the pin so he doesn't even see Parker throw the ball, have his legs spread, and Parker puts the ball right between his legs, and Johnny never sees the ball coming. I mean, that's either talent and a lot of courage.
And we've got Dino, who, you know, just turned 50 last year. I'm not sure if he's 51 yet or not, but Parker Bone, 58 years old, out here doing it.
Oh, little slide kick right there.
Oh, there's $40 for BVL.
Well, there for anybody who donated, we know that Daryl Traber, that's actually $80.
Yeah, that's right.
So, Daryl, I guess my question for you, Parker's got the front four, and if he shoots 300 this game, does he still get the 100?
I think it was just a championship match. And then Kathy Keegan here in the chat also saying I Am Bowling's also going to match Parker's BVL donation on strike. So we've got a bunch of that going on here in our chat room here on Bowl TV.
Dino back to posting shots.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah, when he's posting shots, he throws it, I think, absolutely amazing. He does stuff with the ball that most people just dream about.
Both players with the front four. Dino's extremely matched here today, too, with the white and blue jersey. Of course, he's a huge Dallas Cowboys fan. White and blue on the shoes. And he's got a little white in the hair, too. I don't know if you know that or not, Tom.
Yeah, that's right there in the front.
And he's throwing a white ball.
What I like about Dino, he's really taking his time. Dino's normally a pretty quick bowler, but he's taking his time and he's really focused this match.
I agree.
Wow.
This is the old set hook. Watch this. Bowling ball sets, hook.
You can't beat that shot.
8 the last to fall.
You can't beat that. Everybody's splitting the 8-9.
Well, Barnes called it earlier when Hess interviewed Barnes and said, if Dino can keep this up, some folks might be in trouble today. But on paper, with the way this pattern was laid out and the way that Parker Bone throws the ball, already with 2 titles on the PBA50 tour here this year, Parker Bone, in my opinion, was the favorite coming into this one.
I agree.
That one's got a hold.
Uh-oh. He got that one right a little early, and he pointed to himself. He goes, that was all me. It wasn't the ball. It wasn't the lane. It wasn't anything. Roll 2-4-7. Not an easy spare. Well, John, to answer your question about timing, if it came back using a 13-pound ball, I would switch to 13 pounds. We had Mitch Beasley out here for a while throwing 13-pound equipment and doing quite well. So I don't see any problem with that. Parker back on it, dead flush.
Guys, I think this is a big shot for Dino to keep the momentum going. Parker's not only didn't get 9, got the 7, lost a little bit of count. Bowling for your first title, step up, make good shot here, keep the momentum going.
Well, Dino taking more time in some of these shots than he had taken the whole week added together. Again, I know I just said it, posting shots. And when you got that leverage, and if you look at his body tilt and his angle, it's effortless for him to send that ball to the right and create that motion he's creating on the back end.
Dino's A-plus game is when he can go left to right, throw it to a spot, and throw it to a defined spot. And right now, if Dino's a little left to target, it sits. If it's a little right to target, this bowling ball is coming off the end of the pattern, and it's going a bit sideways, which is getting him to the strike pocket quite a bit.
And he's taking a re-rack, I believe. He is. At this point, I'm not so sure it was the pins. I think it's just about slowing the pace down and just keeping that smooth rhythm.
I'm seeing a real progression out of Dino here as a professional. When do you ever see Dino taking re-racks and slowing things down for himself? Not very often.
How about never?
See a deep breath there. And right over the 15th board.
Dead flush again. Hey, he is. We could see another 300 out of Dino the way he's throwing the ball. Ben Farmer, what is BBL? It's BVL, Bowling to Veterans Link. It's all about the veterans. Johnny Petraglia, big in getting veterans aid. So it's all about the veterans. It's BVL.
Parker Bone can max at 277. Dino Castillo is perfect through 7. Oh, that's
wow.
Way left. But that thing recovered.
I think that's where Parker would really like to be playing, is just that firm. Parker throwing the ball 17 mile an hour down the outside.
That one looked left off his hand, and it came off the end of the pattern with some authority, Tom.
And I think that's why we've seen like Parker making the show and Parker doing as well as he did. Parker played the whole pattern this week way straighter than some of the other lefties. They tried to bump it a little bit, and I think he had to be really straighter through the front part of the lane on this pattern for the left side. And as soon as they tried to move right and bump it a little bit, you just got over-under. Oh. That just creeped up a little high, 6'10".
Yeah, to your point about the left-handers here this week, Jason Couch, the Hall of Famer, he's been bowling tremendous here this year on the PBA50 Tour. Missed the cut, finished 116th, tied for 116th at -4.
Oh, no. And that is something that you will hardly ever, never see out of Parker Bone, missing a spare. But I think he knows he was in trouble anyway, because Dino with the front 7, Parker just now opened, pretty much, I hate to say it, handed the match to Dino Castillo. Dino has just got to finish frames right now. 8th, 9th, and 10th. You notice he's trying to get a little dust on that shoe, so because if you watch his feet, he shuffles. He really doesn't want to be sticking. Oh. 2-8-10. Not quite so sure what happened unless he juiced that one a little bit. Or caught a little bit more of the puddle on that right lane in the center of the lane.
First sign of adversity for Dino. Expect him to get 2 and regroup here on the left lane.
Yeah, that's the first kink in the armor, Tommy.
First open frame for Dino Castillo.
That's actually the first time he's missed the pocket, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, 3 9 counts last game. This could be a telling shot for the championship match.
Well, true story, because Parker Bone could strike out for 243, and if Dino just marked strikes, it's 245. So this is not over, folks.
Not at all, and that's why that 6'10" was so important for Parker to pick that up. That could be the difference in the match.
Uh-oh.
He got grabby with it, and he missed in.
He missed in. He didn't post it. He's getting a little quick, I think, shaking his head. He's got to – this is a must pickup, because Parker can now, if he doesn't pick this up, can shut him out. Oh, ho, 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 ho. That, I think the wind blew the 10 over.
Let's look at it again. Look at the spare shot.
Yeah, I don't know if we could pay attention, guys. It looked like the camera flashed right in the middle. Dino spare from the cameraman down lane there.
Oh, God, I hope not.
I didn't catch that, but very well could have happened.
Can we replay that? Parker now needs to fill frames. Oh.
Well, the drama that was created has now been washed away with that 4-6.
And that is, again, uncharacteristic. Somehow, whatever happened on that left side, whether Surf, however he broke the lanes down, created the ball to react a little bit too quick.
Well, Tom, the scoreboard tells the story for me, right?
Yep.
We've got two great players that have been striking at will, and look what happens. We got 8-1, 8-1 out of Parker Bone, 7-2, 7 spare out of Dino. The 8th and 9th frames were just about as bad as they could go for both players.
I mean, Dino's going to move on to bowl Chris Warren, but now you got two players definitely going to be playing the same part of the lane with a high rev rate. So, and Dino, it has to beat Chris twice if he's going to win this title.
Parker can finish with 222. Dino with 205 in the 8th. Spare working in the 9th. Let's look at the 255.
How about 219, Parker Bone?
8 strikes though, $80 for BVL. Those of you keeping score at home, 8 strikes.
You just took the words. I was counting the strikes. You were already ahead of me.
219 for Parker Bone. Dino needs 3 pins on this ball to advance.
I'm pretty sure you can get 3. Even if he jumps out of the shot.
Well, now will Dino make a ball change? Will he try something different here? Flash one off one time, right? Once. You got Barnes too. Evidently, the flash from the photographer down lane's gone off twice. Once it caught Barnes once, and just got Dino on the spare shot there.
Whoa. What was that? Did he stick or slip? Hey, that didn't look.
Well, Brian's got the replay for us here. Let's see.
It looks like he kind of stuck a little bit, but that could be because of his feet. And you got a little quick, a little happy feet. Final shot for Dino Castillo.
255.
Dino Castillo continues his torrid pace with 8-12 his first 3 games of the Stepladder.
8-12. Pretty impressive.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for Parker Bone, the third tremendous week in a third-place finish at the USBC Senior Masters. Tournament leader is going to get a few warm-up shots, and we'll get our championship round underway here shortly.
Guys, I'm going to chime in here on the side. I think with Dino not making a ball change in any of those shots in the 10th frame, I think he's committed to staying to that ball for this whole match.
It looks like it. I thought he might try something different. I agree with you, Tom. I thought that he would at least, give something a different look. just for the heck of it,
Yeah, guys, I'm here with Parker. Parker, another fantastic week. This is, what, third or fourth show this year?
Something like that. I mean, I want to go out there and do the best I can every time, but let's just say that started out real good and kind of, bad shot there in the fifth frame. There's no doubt about that one. I was fortunate that they were all together. And then the double and the fast 8, I got to be quite honest, I thought that was a good shot off my hand. Unforced error on my own by missing the 610. Can't do that.
Yeah, I was really shocked by that. I did, from the angle I was at, the head pin went right over the 610 on that shot. A little bit of a bad break. What happened on the 4-6?
4-6, I just wanted to make sure I got it there. Well, I got it there all right. It hooked up and went high for 4-6, and, well, needless to say, you better take one and move along.
Yeah, mission accomplished there, bud. But anyway, another solid week, great bowling, and going to see you in Lubbock.
I will be at Lubbock, Senior U.S. Open, looking forward to it, and we'll look forward to seeing all the fans down there. I haven't been to that facility yet, so it ought to be great.
Yeah, Jimbo Evans is a great proprietor. Looking forward to getting down there and bowling down in Lubbock next week.
Right.
Parker, great bowling again this week. Thanks for your donation to the BVL. I'm sure everybody at Howell Lanes is cheering you on. A little bit disappointed you didn't do a little bit better today, but, nothing to shake your head at third. Nice bowling.
I appreciate it. We'll take what we got and we'll move along. Thanks, Tom.
Yep. Thank you, Parker.
There we go. So our eyes are now focused on Chris Warren and his practice shots to see what kind of look he has on this pair. Can he muster up anything for Dino Castillo, who is bowling at an unbelievable scoring pace here? Bowls 8-12, which 8-12 divided by 3 games is he's averaging 270.66.
Guys, it's going to be interesting. I just saw that last shot that Chris threw. Chris is throwing a reality, which is one of our strongest bowling balls. He's going to get 6 shots. And how much is that going to change the lanes for Dino with him throwing the stronger balls? It looks like Chris has way more service on his bowling ball than Dino does.
Oh, I think Chris, using those 6 shots with a bigger ball, we're going to see more transition, I think, in this game than we've seen the whole match because of where both guys are playing.
Yeah, I agree with that, Tom. That shot was actually with an IQ tour. Those were the 2 balls that Chris told me he was going to use. Both of them do have quite a bit of surface on them.
Well, in our game today, I think we can play a little defense. You might want to call it offense, however you want to look at it. But, you can kind of shape the lanes the way you want to. And I'm pretty sure that's what Chris is trying to do. He's trying to carve something out for himself and maybe mess up his opponent just a hair.
Yeah, that's possible. As a player myself, I think that's really hard to do with only 3 shots on each lane. You're not going to transition them a whole lot, but
well, you might not
definitely can get a little bit of early hook out of Dino here.
Well, you might not transition them, but just the thought that could put into your opponent's head that you're trying to carve them up could make him think a little bit different. This game's a whole bunch of mental.
This game is a whole bunch of mental, as I can attest. But yeah, here we go. Chris, I haven't been counting, but now he's went back to the reality after a couple of shots with the IQ tour. I'm also at a bad angle, guys. Can you tell, is Chris deeper than Dino?
Yes.
Yes. Chris is crossing almost 19-20 right now with that reality.
Yeah, from my vantage point, Tom Carter, I think it's even a little deeper than that. We'll get a better look at it once the match starts, but I've got him left at 20 from my vantage point, but my eyes might be deceiving me here a little bit.
Well, the set down point is way left at 20.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, he might flirt with loft or something here potentially if it goes to 2 games.
Yeah, this could be a 2-game match. If Dino wins the first one, he has to beat Chris Warren again. They're both. The announcement.
There's Rob Gottschall.
2022 Senior Masters. Chris Warren is our tournament leader. He is undefeated in this tournament. Dino Castillo must beat him twice for the championship. Mr. Warren has elected to have Dino start the first game. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause as we get underway with our title match.
Here we go, championship match. Tom and Tom with Mike Flanagan here, myself here, Brian Kane producing. We're looking forward to bringing this one to you. Dino Castillo averaging 270. Chris Warren just coming over a championship pair. It's time to get comfortable. What do you think winning score might be here in this game? Tom Carter, what do you say?
245.
I was going to say 257.
Okay. Dino out of the gate strong, and he's shaking his head like he wasn't sure he liked that, but the results are good.
All right, let's look at the lane play here. In around 16.
Yep. Out to about 7, 8.
All right, so we saw that one exactly the same. Let's take a look at Warren, and we'll see if we see that the same. Yeah, a little bit further right at 20.
Yeah, that was like 19, and Chris even made a comment. He thought that the right lane, when Tommy interviewed him, was hooking a little earlier. So maybe he moved in a little bit and caught some of that puddle.
2-4-8-10.
Not exactly what you want to start with in a championship match. The winner of this tournament is going to get $20,000. Second receiving $12,000.
Yeah, and Chris has chosen to start with the reality, the stronger of the two balls. I wonder if that one might have maybe burned up a little bit.
Potentially. That's going to hook a lot on the back end.
6 out. That is, and that's the problem I alluded it to earlier. When you shoot spares, especially on the left side of this pattern, when the ball comes out of the pattern, it is so dry down there, the ball just ricochets to the left.
Is Chris still using a conventional grip?
Yes.
That's where you put your entire hand into the ball all the way down.
Right, clear to the second knuckle.
Yeah.
He says he hooks it too much if he has a fingertip.
So squirrely ball reaction early here for Warren. The right lane he comes in light, the left lane he comes in high.
Yeah, in practice, it looks like he pretty much labeled the pocket in his practice shots, and all of a sudden now, I think maybe throwing that IQ Tour would have been a better choice. It's a smoother ball. .3610 conversion, no problem.
I think Dino's scoring pace might have something to do with Chris's shots. He knows he's got to get off to a good shots. Maybe a little bit of pressure there to try to throw it too good.
Chris standing there looking a little dumbfounded, looking down lane 19 like, I thought I played that right. Oh, a little high trip 4 action. That could have been a 410 real easy.
Real easy. Let's look at it again. We'll see what Tom was talking about here. Looked a little more up the lane, a little inside.
Yep.
But Dino's got that area out there. I mean, he's really created great ball motion, a great hook spot out there for himself.
Well, I think the advantage that Dino has is the fact that he has such great speed. He can overpower this hook spot just a little bit better than some of the other players based on where he's playing the lane at. That was a little bit right. That looked like that crossed right at 16, 17, and it did. And it got a little farther right down lane around 5. So there's no doubt about it. Dino has got area on the lane. It's not like you always want to say you can split boards, but it's not like if you can create area, you don't need to split boards, and he's created some area for himself.
We've already got a ball change out of Chris Warren.
Much better reaction out of Chris.
Yeah, I saw him cross about 15, 16 on this one. Take a look at it back, and the ball gets out to about 4, maybe?
Eesh. Quite a ways down lane. The big issue is he was standing back studying this lane for a while. So he's definitely going to make – he made the ball change. Is he making a move?
Good news is he can use this game as practice.
I thought about saying that, but I never said it. That was like 15, and that's a much better reaction. Both of those shots look pretty similar as far as where he crossed and where the break point was at down lane.
For a guy who was completely lost through 2 frames to come back, make that ball change, and make 2 great pitches like that, that's why Warren's the #1 seed.
Well, and that's why he's got 57, regional titles and a couple PBA titles. And Chris Warren isn't out here on the PBA 50 like a lot of guys. He only comes out for, 3 or 4 tournaments a year. He's not like some of the guys who are out here a lot. He comes out every whip stitch.
The other thing I love about Chris Warren is he had his brothers here this week. He was coaching them last week at the Super Senior Classic. Pretty cool.
That is what Dino got him to this point right now. Shots like that where he dead locks it in. Watch this post. I keep saying about his knee bend, but that knee bend for leverage is impeccable. And if you're at home practicing, practice some knee bend.
He's throwing it like Troy Aikman, and it's going through the pins like Emmitt Smith.
Okay.
And he's got his wide receivers down there. He's got Michael Irvin at the head pin.
We just went into football somewhere.
Oh, I just keep seeing that star there.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. Oh, the
now
9
there's something
falls
you don't
out late.
You talk about pin action. That came off of the right kickback.
I think
Watch this. That came off. That was the 3-pin, I think, that came off the kickback and took out the 9.
Yeah, and you want to know if that wouldn't have made it? I think he had another one coming over to take it out, too.
Hey, guys, Chris just went down and grabbed another ball out of his bag. So I wonder if, the last 2 shots looked pretty good. I wonder if he's already kind of conceding that he's lost this game and looking for the reaction that he's going to have to beat Dino, thinking he's going to have to bowl a 250 or better.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tom.
This is a perfect time because, again, he has to be beaten twice. And, Mike, you said it earlier that, he could use this for just a practice game to really get lined up. But I'm sure he'd rather win this game and just put it to bed.
Look at this again. It's like this ball took 3 minutes to get through the pin deck.
Oh, that ball kept going left. It just kept going left.
And that's that axis tilt that Warren creates. The ball goes sideways off the end of the pattern for Chris. It's just the way he bowls.
He not only I don't know if you guys caught that, but he said, I think the ball went between the 7 and the 8, but it was nowhere close to the 9.
And Chris is pretty unique because with his release, he never throws a spare ball. He uses his strike ball as a spare ball because he has the ability to really straighten that out. And that just allows you another ball in the arsenal if you can do that.
Chris is a long-time action player, too. He's bowled for a lot of money over the years. We do have a microphone down there, and I think it picked it up. I think y'all could
that was
hear
pretty good.
He's very loose, very comfortable. We got 2 loose guys out there.
Tommy, is that a Zen Soul he's throwing right now?
Yes.
Looks like he's got a little shine to that, or it's got a lane shine to it.
Yeah, I don't know if he has shined that ball. It is definitely shiny. That is a dull ball out of the box. It's a hybrid cover on the Zen Soul that he made that ball change to.
Phyllis in the chat, got to give you a shout out. She's been pulling for Dino all week. She's been predicting Dino would take it all down. And in the chat, she's here again letting us know Hey, don't forget Dino was my pick this week.
Oh, Messenger rolls in front of the 10.
So Dino's string comes to an end. Nice run for Dino there.
Yeah, he still got a shot at 279. That's not a bad game to have, considering he's averaging 260. A little better than 260 right now.
Hey guys, I'm here with Jeff Johnson. Jeff, has Dino thought about ball changing yet? Staying with that same ball now for 3.5 games. What's his plan if this goes away?
Well, I think we're kind of just watching what Chris does. If he's trying to change the shape of the lane with his balls, he's already made two ball changes since he started. So we're just keeping an eye on it. He's got room left that he can still circle around it. So ball change isn't the plan, but we have a progression to get to that if we have to.
What would be the progression?
What would be the progression?
I think we would go to a slower ball. We'd probably go to his Obsession Tour, and he could just go left and kind of slow hook around it instead of what he's doing now. But the look is so good right now. I don't think we'll get there.
Okay, thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, I don't see him getting there either. I mean, this is too good of a look.
Oh, it came over, but not enough little kick to knock it out. So for a solid 9 for Dino in the 7th frame. Starts out with a 5-bagger, 9 spare, should be another 9 spare.
Yeah, and I really don't mind this 9-pin here for Dino because his carry has been so good that you can't carry that good for that amount of time for that long, can you? I mean,
well, we're going to find out in about another 15 minutes.
Yeah, we are.
Hey, our first look at Chris Warren from the side. I mean, it's interesting to know that both of them kind of start with the ball into the swing really quick. A lot of similarities in their styles. Something unique about Chris Warren, though, if you really watch, we've always said, on a 5-step approach, the first step is just a timing step. It really is not a big step. You take a look at Chris Warren's first step, it's huge. His second step is basically a stutter timing step.
Yep. Chris Warren, through the 15 games of qualifying, averaged 217.93 on his way to the number 1 seed here today. 19th overall.
For such a little guy, he's like 102 pounds soaking wet. Sure turns the living devil out of a bowling ball. Now he puts every ounce of what he's got into it.
Warren actually already beat Castillo on his way here to the number 1 seed, 708 to 655. Tried to say defeated there. Ended up beated. Goodness.
Oh.
I haven't been here for 12 days.
Hey, you got a couple of days off before you go to Lubbock.
I appreciate that, Tom.
Yeah. You get to get your voice back.
All right. So now a 2-4 for Dino on the right lane.
So
Dino can bowl 256.
He can, but if we just spare it out, it's 1636, and
Chris can bowl 245. Yeah.
So this is not over. So Dino can't just drop his guard right here. He really needs to put another strike up on the board because Chris Warren, I think, is definitely going to fight back and give him everything he's got for 245.
Yeah, if Dino were to go 9 spare here in the 9th, we would have a possibility of a tie.
Yeah, how big is the fact that Chris went 6 out in frame 1 now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, at least 3 of those pins would be huge. If you can't pick the spare up, always go for count.
Dino's taking a re-rack here on the left lane.
Tom, to add to what you said there, I think Chris was actually trying to make that spare, knowing that he was going to have to bowl a big game against Dino.
Well, I think he was trying to make it. He just didn't realize how much the back end was going to take that ball to the left. Yeah, he looked overwhelmingly shocked that that ball hooked as much as it did. Oh, late 10, but he got the break. Dino crossing right at 16, maybe 17, and out to 5-6.
So Dino can bowl 256. Chris Warren can strike out in the 9th and 10th for 245. Once again, those are your max scores.
Well, if he does strike out for 245, that forces Dino to get the first one in the 10th. Uh-oh. That was a little quick off of his hand, I think. And never got it quite right. So now Chris can shoot 224 max. Dino basically just has to mark. Fill some frames.
I was worried about that. Off his hand, I almost called it right off his hand. Look at this.
Oh, my God. That is twice at the back end of the lane. Now, you wouldn't think 33 mils of oil with ice oil at 40 feet, the ball looked like somebody kicked it when it got out of the pattern.
Yeah, he's just hitting it for all it's worth on his spare shots for whatever reason here early, and he's missing left to target on both spare shots. I don't know if he needs to get a urethane ball in his hand, a plastic ball, something, but Chris needs to clean that up. Well, we're going to go
we got another game.
Yeah, we're going to go to the maximum amount of bowling here today. So, folks, you're getting your money's worth here today. Dino Castillo is going to defeat Chris Warren here, and now they have each lost once.
And now we have hanging bananas.
Yeah. Banana tree.
They need to set those first, Chris. Otherwise, you're going to go right under them.
Yeah.
We're going to hit them from the bottom side.
He says, I would have shot at it. Oh, man. It's still not how you want to pick that spare either.
No, I mean, there seems to be a little frustration going on in Warren's mind.
I'm frustrated with the way he's throwing at spares.
So there's a theory out there that Chris wasn't really playing for this game, but I mean, for me, I'd like to put it to bed in the first game. But
yeah, I mean, why not give it your best? You know, two best chances. But if he was really just playing defense there and trying to
set up the lane for himself,
yeah, I mean
that's a gamble and a half, isn't it?
It's a big gamble.
I mean,
but we are in Las Vegas, so you know, to each their own. But 201 the final score for Warren, and Dino finished with 256, and you know, maybe he's just trying to create some transition for Dino, so he's got to guess. But
as much as Dino can hook the ball as far as he can get left, I don't think that's the right thing to do, realistically. But you know, I'm not out there either. I'm back here watching.
Dino's bowling his A game with his favorite bowling ball, and he bowled 812, and now he's going to bowl 250. He's going to bowl 1,060 almost. I mean, I don't know what you need to be doing with trying to – I mean, I'm sorry to make you laugh that hard, Tom, but I don't know what you need to be doing. I mean, if Warren's real idea here was to mess up the lane pattern, I'd have been throwing urethane right up at Dino's break point or surface. You know, if that's really what he was trying to do was direct the lanes. But, I mean, this was a little bizarre here. I mean.
Hey, guys, on that shot in the 11th as I was standing off, I noticed that Dino lined up and then cheated his feet right and looked like he threw it a little bit harder.
A little bit harder.
That last shot he just moved right, and I think that was just a fill shot. But it'll be interesting to see if he actually moves back to the right. I can't imagine he's going to do that, but not with the look that he's got.
You see Jeff Johnson down there talking with him.
Castillo defeats Chris Warren in game 1, 253 to 201. We're going to reset the scoring system here real quick. Mr. Warren has elected to start game 2.
Oh. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. We're down to our final game.
This is the final match, folks.
Applause for Chris and Dino as the winner of this match will become the 2022 USBC Senior Masters Champion.
Well, here we are at the final match.
Yeah, Dino's averaging 266.25.
That's not too bad.
For 4.
So Chris Warren just crossed like 22-23 at the Euros.
That's exactly right.
Out to like 7?
Yeah, roughly. I agree with that. Tom and I got to sit here and we both got to just look at the screen and look at the replays, and we look at it and we're like, neither one of us have the best eyes in the world, but I think we're on the same page here today.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good for us here, especially in the championship match. Glad you're with us here on Bull TV. Dino Castillo getting things started here on the right lane in the championship match.
I mean, if Dino's going to focus, he needs to focus harder than he's ever focused and post shots for the next 9 frames.
Yeah, and here's the deal. I know Dino very well, okay? Good friends with him. He's friends with a lot of champions on the national tour and the 50 tour. He has yet to win a national title on the PBA nor this tour.
Right.
Things change a little bit when you're bowling for it and this is your one game to get there. It's been a free roll the whole way here, but now a little more on the line.
This is for the wheat.
You might start to see some nerves come into play for Dino. I hope not. I mean, he's been in control of this entire stepladder so far.
And he needs to stay in control. I mean, when we say out of control, you'll see him start bouncing around and jumping out of shots and not posting stuff.
Hook. Well, he's got that dollar spot down lane. I mean, his bowling ball.
Yeah,
he misses right, mixes them up. He misses left, it sets.
Right.
He throws it right in between. It's a perfect shot. He's got so much room at the break point.
He can get away with. That wasn't really a fall off shot, but he can get away with really not posting it. But God, I'd really like to see him just stick it. You know, because that. You got Chris pretty much sticking every shot. Uh-oh. He doesn't believe that ball did not recover.
So Warren leaves a 2-4.
Especially with the part of the lane that actually hooks the most. Well, here's another left side spare, and we've seen what happened before. So this is, hopefully he goes a little more direct at it. Yeah, he did, because I would say if he tried to hook at it, it hasn't turned out well so far.
Well, thank the Lord on that one. So Warren can max at 280. Dino can still bowl 300. It seems like Dino throws 5, 6, 7 in a row every single game.
Well, if he shoots another 260 to, you know, get ahead of ourselves if he wins, what an incredible run for a title. My Lord. It's been an incredible run already. That looked even a little deeper. Did that look like it was around 24? I mean,
yeah.
Right.
Here we go.
23. It was. He's got inside of Dino right now by about a good 3 or 4 boards.
Yeah, and when that happens, typically, at least on the PBA regular tour, the national tour, when you've got a player inside of you with more rev rate, with a duller surface bowling ball, what that does for Dino, being further to the right, means his hold could potentially start to go away. So if Dino were to miss left, he would go high.
Right.
And so that little piece of information, if you're Dino and you're on it here, you know that if you do miss, you're going to want to miss right.
Well, Dino has the option, if he needs to move into that, let's call it a wall, where Chris is carving out.
But remember, Dino's couple of shots, as Tom Hess reported, on the right lane. I think if he was going to make a move on the right lane, he would actually move right and firm up.
I wasn't so sure about that with his body language. I mean, from the angle we've seen, and he posted it. He wasn't sure it wasn't going to carry, though. Chris has got to be knowing that unless something happens, he could be in a little bit of trouble.
Dino has the front 3. Chris Warren strike, spare to start this one.
He just got to post that Warren is still searching. He doesn't have a lot of time to search.
Inside.
Oh, that's inside. That, what was 18 at Tierros? Okay. Never got to the spot, and high Brooklyn.
Yeah, to me on that one, you got to get the ball going left to right. It means that ball needs to be close to your ankle. You can't chicken wing it. I didn't catch a physical flaw there, but he clearly had it going way more up the lane, and he got into Chris's area where Chris has been
just what you talked about.
And he go, but fortunate to go Brooklyn.
Chris Warren, 7 10s in the 4th frame, which looked like a good shot. He thought it was. Bad result.
Pins do not bounce here very well. We've seen Chris Barnes bounce a few out, but he's about the only player I've seen bouncing pins out here.
Well, Chris is a big, strong guy. He can throw it 100. If he does bounce this out, I mean, he actually needs to stay in this match.
Yeah, and little squeaks here. Chris Warren, he can still fire it down there pretty good too.
Oh, it did bounce, just not back on the lane.
Yeah. So a huge lead right now for Dino Castillo. 66 in the 4th for Warren. Dino throwing the front 4 at him. We could have a repeat of last year. It was Tom Hess, who's joining us on our broadcast, defeated Chris Barnes in both games. True double elimination. And right now, early on, Dino Castillo looking pretty good here.
And we've got a ball change again here, guys, going back to the IQ tour.
And I see him throw up his hands like, is this a guess? He's just hoping this is going to work? He went farther right with that.
Oh, nice break.
He got a break, but that ball never really recovered on the back end. It looked like it tried and just stopped.
Yeah, interesting that in the first game when Chris went to that ball, he did throw a double. With
I know.
2 shots that looked pretty good, and then he came and got another ball.
I know. I agree with you, Tom. Bizarre. I mean, very bizarre. And
so,
Tom Carter, you had somebody texting you up here, a knowledgeable insider here, talking about Chris Warren, and he thought for sure he was going to throw IQ Tour the whole game.
We'll have to find out later why he switched out of that IQ after he throws a double with it. Oh, That's excuse me. That 7 went down late.
Everything kind of evens out in the sport of bowling, doesn't it? Sometimes Dino goes up and throws the Brooklyn and hits the pocket and leaves a 10-pin.
Right.
I would say right now Dino is bowling the score that he deserves to bowl.
And the bowling gods giveth, and they also taketh away.
That's right. So Dino at a true 279 here.
Tom, the one thing I've noticed about Dino, he's not taking very much time on them spares. He's just stepping up there and hitting them. Does he normally do that?
Yes, he does. I mean, he doesn't take. You can't say that Dino overthinks a spare shot. He grabs the ball, and it's like he's moving from the approach, the settee area, right on the approach, right up to the foul line. Unlike the regular Masters on TV, where it's dedicated by time, the senior Masters here, everybody has lost a round once, and in order for to be crowned the tournament leader, if he wins, he wins. Otherwise, the opponent has to beat him twice.
Look at this bird dog. Look at the head pin, goes hunting off the sidewall, comes back across, takes out the 10.
And as the pin spins around and the head of the pin takes out the 10. Chris Warren in the 6th frame, needing a strike. And that ball went runaway Brooklyn. And he is just absolutely lost, folks. He doesn't, he knows that lane hooks more. He switched to a ball that should be smoother and is still checked up on him. Well, which is kind of amazing. I mean, if you look at the balls being thrown, Dino is the only one throwing a pearl ball. Everybody else has been throwing solids. So Tommy Hess, good question for you. If Dino's got such a great look throwing a pearl, wouldn't you think you'd give yourself a shot at throwing one to see if you have that reaction, or no?
Yeah, well, especially as lost as Chris is, I would have definitely tried something like that. Especially towards the end of that match got kind of tight, but I would agree with that. Maybe Chris just decided to stay with these because it was the balls that he had such a good look with. But
unfortunately, he doesn't have a look at all right now.
Yeah, interesting. There's been a lot more bowling on this pair in the championship match than there was in the matches all week, and that's got to factor into your decision as well.
Yeah, especially with the practice. Those guys trying to carve it out for themselves during practice. You saw a lot of big balls going down the lane with a lot of surface, breaking them down. It's created a nice hook spot on the right side part of the lane for those that can get to it consistently, and Dino has certainly done so. We talk about tracers and range finders down lane. We don't have those here this week here in this building, but if we did, Dino's got the largest range down lane to throw that ball to.
Well, if you don't have a rangefinder, and a lot of the guys, you see the reflection of the pins on the lane.
Yep.
They use that reflection. I mean, he could probably be looking at the reflection of either the 10 pin on the lane, because if you look at the 10 pin on the lane, it's around 8 from our point of view here. I mean, at least he's got a spot to throw to. Oh.
As we watch the replay, left to target.
That never got to the rangefinder down the lane.
No, it was up the lane.
And
it was similar to the Brooklyn where you got a strike.
So we got just a few frames left, 3. And this is where the nerves are really going to kick in.
Dino can max out in the 240s now. 247. Chris Warren can still bowl 214. Dino going at a 217 pace.
Yeah, this is not over. Dino really needs to. Well, Chris has got to strike out.
Dino could go 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 and win. No problem.
So at this point here, you know you got 3 frames left. That open just tightened up the match a little bit.
That one got right.
That was dead flush.
As long as he gets it to the right, you know, in the mid lane and to the back half of the lane going left to right like that,
he got that
he's
out
all over the pocket.
to like 6 down lane.
Yeah.
On the right lane, I think he only got to around 10.
Warren's in a must-strike position. Needs to fill him up here in the 8th and the 9th to have any chance at all.
And he chose, which is kind of odd, to start this match. So Dino's definitely. Oh, that was almost another 7-10. He thought it was a 7-10. So now possible 203 is the best that Chris Warren can do.
One side note, Dino Castillo is going to be under average this game. Best he can do is 247. That will be his lowest game here tonight in his 5th game. 255, the previous lower game. I take that back. 300, 255, 253, 257. Possible 247 here. So we've got 203 left for Chris Warren.
I know Chris is standing there. He's like, I don't know what else to do. He's just like, I think I've done everything I needed to do. Just the results haven't been what was expected. And Chris sees the writing on the wall. Best he can do now is 192. And we have a new champion, folks.
We do. And to all his friends watching, Tom Doherty, Tommy Jones, Wes Malott, Sean Maldonado, your boy Dino here, showing up in a big way today. I know they're all proud of him. They can't razz him as much anymore. Dino Castillo has taken a big step forward here today in his career and his game. Running the ladder here today, taking down a Hall of Fame.
He took it down a Hall of Fame crew.
Oh, unbelievable.
Just relax now, Dino, and just go through the motions. What an incredible week this boy's had. 19. That is 76-85. If he misses, he would just need 8 or better on the next ball, but he's not going to miss this spare. Because he will pick up the ball and go extremely quick. Well, I eat my words there. He's taking his time.
Yep. Right now for Dino, in his mind, I mean, he has just been waiting for this moment.
Well, he's finally got the monkey off his back. He's something he's wanted. Well, any bowler out here has wanted for a long time to get that banner up. What an incredible moment for Dino Castillo. Winning his first title and a major at that, the 2022 Senior Masters right here in Samstown in Las Vegas, Nevada. Chris Warren just finishing up, and what a way to end. He's had a battle with that right lane anyway.
And you got to hand it to Squeaks. He's had an incredible week as well. All these guys that made the finals, of course, have earned their way here, and there can only be one winner, and it's Dino Castillo today. Congratulations, Dino. I'm really happy for Dino.
Oh. It's great to see somebody win their very first title. Squeaks finishing out, unfortunately, never found the lane, or the lane never found him.
Tom, if you can carry the broadcast for a moment, I'm going to go down and interview the players.
All righty, sir.
It is my pleasure to introduce to you the 2022 Senior Masters Champion,
A newbie.
Mr. Dino Castillo.
And we had a newbie on the show. Yeah. Over picking up the trophy. A little bit of a tear coming out of his eye. Big moment for the. And Dino being the ball rep out on the regular tour. I mean, all of his guys, I'm sure, are clapping and proud of him. He fought a hard-fought battle this whole week. Had big games, had low games, found his way to figure it out, and brought himself here. Big ball change last night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, one more time. Let's put our hands together for Dino Castillo. Let's go over here, Dino.
Take it out to Mike Flanagan. Going to do the interview with Dino.
We want to thank the Director of Operations here at Samstown, Guido Metzger, for hosting us here this week, and, of course, Tom, the General Manager. What a great job they did here at Samstown the last 2 weeks. Guido, did you want to come on over? You want to present the trophy?
Absolutely.
We're going to have Guido bring the trophy over to Dino. Official handoff here.
Congratulations, Dino. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So here we are with Dino Castillo. I didn't know if this day was ever going to come, Dino, for you. It's been a long time coming. Your emotions after winning this one?
I don't know what to say. I mean, the crowd's been wonderful, but it was my friends and my wife that were here that kept me going and kept it easy on me because they made me laugh. And thanks to whoever was coughing that made me laugh, took it a little easier on me. So, but I hope you're okay. So this is an unbelievable feeling.
I was talking up in the championship match and throughout the Stepladder tonight, you know, there's a lot of guys on the PBA tour that are your very good friends who have won a bunch of titles, and you room with those guys, and you haven't been able to break through out there, and now being here for about a year, now you get your first title. What would you like to say to those guys now?
Well, now I get to be official part of the circle, so that's really good. But the most important thing was I made a call last night to Sean Maldonado, and we had a discussion about how he played the Masters and how we worked that out to get him to the show. So he actually, you know, he was the one that told me what to do as a plan of attack to be able to beat Chris and Jack, because I couldn't beat them on the fresh. We're not beating them on the fresh, so it was Sean that actually made the bigger difference today for me.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, you got a great supporting cast, that's for sure. Shout out to Sean. You had to go up against some really great players here to run the ladder. I mean, I know you got a lot of respect for a lot of those guys. Did you think you could pull this one off?
No, absolutely not. And in all honesty, you know, my ball reps, Jeff and Tom, I told them today, I said, man, I got to get them off that spot. I said, it's a double-edged sword, because if I do that and beat those guys, it makes Parker's shot better. So I didn't think my shot would be as good. And to bowl against, Hall of Famers like that, and to beat them, it's an unbelievable feeling.
Yesterday we saw in the advancers of 3 and the 4 bowlers that were down there, you made a key ball change down the stretch to that Black Widow Ghost, and your buddies use that ball a lot too, by the way. We talked about that on the broadcast. Why did you go to that ball yesterday, and why was that selection today? You averaged almost 260 with that ball.
Well, yesterday I was struggling, trying to fight the lane a little bit, playing right with those guys, and it's actually Jeff Johnson said to me, he goes, hey, why don't you, I think you need to move left. It's getting closer to when I bowled Chris early. He said, I think you need to make a move left and use the Ghost. So I said, if you believe it, I'll do it. And I did it.
Awesome. Awesome. You also have a lot of people that have supported you. You have a lot of sponsors. Your wife is here. Who would you like to thank?
Obviously, my wife supporting me and allowing me to do this. My best friends are right here. If that's the key. But, the bowling shop, my guys at the shop taking care of the shops while I'm gone. I can't thank Ebonite Bowling enough, Vice, Cool Wick, and Genesis Tape for really supporting me and giving me the stuff to be able to come out here and do this. Thank you guys, and especially all the fans. You guys came out. I tried to put on a great show. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and especially to all the fans back in Dallas that really believed in me and chimed in, whether it's messages or texts and calls, but it's really them. This is for them.
Awesome. Thank you, Dino. Congratulations again. That's Dino Castillo, everybody. Your champion here, 2022 Senior Masters. Back to Tom and Brian up in the booth, and we'll wrap things up here.
What a great interview with Dino Castillo, getting his first title and it being a major. That's incredible.
Yeah, I kind of know what that feels like.
You should. You done that twice, didn't you?
Yeah. Dino, unbelievable player. I can't believe that it's been this long for him to get the win. I'm not in part of the circle. I consider Dino a friend, however, and very, very happy for him to get it done. Going through a couple of Hall of Fame bowlers, somebody who, Chris Warren, I can't believe he's not in the USBC Hall of Fame with all he's done. Definitely a Hall of Fame talent there. Quite a run.
Well, as a bowler, I think all of us, I'm sure you've done it, all idolized if I'm going to win a title, I'd like to go through the best to get to that title, and he did. Like you said, he went through his Hall of Famers to get there, and it's an incredible feeling. And he's got to be extremely proud of what happened today. Yeah,
I wonder if some of it. Him and Chris are pretty good friends. Chris Barnes and Chris Warren, all from Texas.
Right.
I wonder if that made it a little bit easier. You know what I mean? You're bowling some friends,
but that first match, that was a huge match.
That was huge. Yes.
He got by that first one, and that could have went either way real quick.
Yep. Yeah. Chris, Chris Barnes had the errant shot. Dino bowling 300, just huge. Almost most impressive is bowling that 300, keeping the composure to come back and bowl 250 the next game.
Well, exactly.
We see it all the time where if I'm Jack Jerick coming on there, I'm rooting for him to bowl 300 in that match
because you figure he's going to come off that high.
He's going to come off the high bowling 300.
Exactly.
Have a little let up. For Dino's. It's not his first show. He's been on shows. He's already been on a show or two this year. For him to handle those emotions so well and fight through that, what a moment.
Well, the fact that he kept his composure, because we've all known Dino to be a little rambunctious, and he gets a little quick with his feet and he bounces out of some shots. And for him to really settle down for this, to come back the way he did, was absolutely phenomenal.
All right, let's bring it into the booth here.
Hey,
our first three-wide booth in a while here as Dino celebrates out there his victory. Mike Flanagan, Tom Carter, Tom Hess here with you. Thanks for all your insight down on the lanes, Tom Hess.
That was
thank
awesome.
You guys. Thanks for asking me to be a part of it. It was a little bit weird being off to the side instead of being in the booth, not knowing when to step in and all that. But I really enjoyed that.
You did a great job. It's always nice. And it gives us more to talk about. Even no matter who's up here, the person down there with the insight, there's just so much more information and knowledge being thrown out there with that, having that ability to do that.
Yeah, you even had a few positive comments in the chat as well.
Oh,
Mr.
wow.
Hess.
Yeah. People like you.
How are they gonna? You gonna go work on getting them escalators wider so I can get
Wow,
out of here?
my God.
I know.
Wait a minute, there's a picture over there. See that thing?
Yeah.
That's huge.
Well, guys, thanks so much for being here. It's always a better broadcast when there's two guys that do it out here for a living and come out here and participate in the events. So thanks for your insight. Really appreciated working with Tom and Tom.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been a great time. I can't say I enjoy this as much as I enjoy bowling.
Our next broadcast, I believe, starts Saturday in Lubbock.
Yeah.
Senior U.S. Open.
Are you driving?
Oh, I hope.
Get your car fixed?
I gotta get some windows replaced in my car. But yeah, I'll be in Lubbock.
When you leaving?
Hopefully Tuesday. That's when.
Yeah, I'm leaving Saturday morning.
I
So
can finally get my car in to get it fixed.
so you have to let me know how the practice went because I missed practice. I'll get there in time for my squad. We got USBCs Friday and Saturday.
Well, good luck. Good luck there, Tom.
Yeah, we'll do the best we can.
He's going to channel his inner Tom Hess and make that drive straight through down to
Exactly.
down to Lubbock Park. Get out and
16
bowl.
hours and go.
Park. Get out and bowl.
Well, folks, we're going to wrap up our broadcast here. We want to thank you for watching the last 2 weeks here from Samstown, the Super Senior Classic, and, of course, the Senior Masters here. I want to thank all of our guests that have come in and out of the booth, including these two guys right here. I want to thank Brian Kane for doing a great job producing and being with me here the last couple of weeks as well.
Yeah, Brian in the truck.
Brian in the truck, yeah. We also want to thank Samstown for being gracious hosts. We thanked him up there on the lanes, but we want to do it again here to end the broadcast. We also want to thank Rob Gottschall and the entire USBC for putting on a great event here. Rob putting in those long hours. He's doing a great job being a tournament director.
He did.
He did.
Yeah.
It ran extremely smooth with Rob.
Very consistent decision making, and he's done a really nice job. So shout out to the USBC for putting on another good one here at Samstown. We want to thank our gold partners as well, which is Storm, Rotogrip, and 900 Global for continuing to support the Senior Masters. Thank you to those great sponsors in Storm, Rotogrip, and 900 Global. We also want to thank Kegel. JJ was here this week, and I know we all got to spend a little bit of time with JJ. He brought over treats for us quite often.
He's the dessert master, I think, isn't he?
He is. He is. He gets all around town with his
The only post he ever
dinner-
makes is desserts.
Yeah, 3 dinners with him this week, and JJ knows his food.
Yeah, he knows his. I know he knows dessert.
He's consistent with his dessert options, and he's also consistent with putting down the lane pattern. We had no issues with any sort of lane pattern lay down at all. He's done such a great job here, and also taken all his time to be here for 2 weeks as well.
Yes.
And we also want to thank our players for providing such great competition out on the lanes. And, of course, we want to thank the USBC and the USBC board for allowing Bowl TV to even be a media network to be able to show bowling. And then last but not least, we want to thank our Bowl TV community for communicating with us throughout the show and throughout all the week, throughout all the qualifying and all the nonsense that we do. But we try to put together a pretty good product here by the time we get to it here at the end.
Try to give some knowledge and a little bit of fun to go along with it, a little bit of laughs.
That's right.
You know, I think people learn when they're laughing.
I think so. You know, I mean, we talk about it all the time. It's hard to sit in the booth and talk bowling for 10 hours straight during qualifying. But when it gets down to the nitty-gritty of your step ladders and your match, our crew is pretty knowledgeable and gives some great insight, I believe.
Yeah, it's almost like a documentary, I think, with all the players that get to come up here and talk and give their insights. And you get to actually see the players firsthand and their knowledge as they're speaking about it. So it's Bowl TV is like a ongoing educational documentary show to me.
Yeah.
We're going to clip that one off and put that out as a trailer. Bowl TV, Tom. All right, well, that's going to do it here from Las Vegas. Our next broadcast, again, will be coming up on Saturday from Lubbock. So for the entire crew here, my name is Mike Flanagan. And remember, on Bowl TV, bowling lives here. We will see you soon on the PBA50 Tour. And, of course, don't forget to watch the PWBA Tour on Bowl TV. Have a good day, everybody.
Have a good day.
Good night, everybody.